What's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for tuning in again with us. You already know who I am. I am Jossie.
I'm TT.
And I'm Ashley.
How y'all doing out there today? I hope all is well. How you ladies doing today?
Good.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yes, amazing. What about you?
Girl, I'm good, but I am tired, okay?
Yeah, same.
Right, yeah.
Tired. Auntie had a long night.
Yes, it was a turn up.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, we had a long night, and then I got a lot of, people. I don't rest like that, so a lot of errands and stuff to run. So I'm just tired. But other than that, I am doing wonderful. Glad to be alive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Amen to that.
That's always a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, amen. So anything on you ladies' heart today?
Not mine.
Ooh. What you gonna say? Sleep again? You
Girl,
gonna be like
listen.
sleep?
Yeah, I can't say that, but that's the normal.
I had a busy week, just doing ministry, and I went to an all-white party last night.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah. It was not. It was good because you get an opportunity to dress up a little bit. So I think that was really good. And then I was on vacation for a week last week. So me and the family went to Disney World. We rolled on a helicopter.
Yeah,
I was terrified.
Was that fun?
It was fun, but I was terrified. I'm scared of heights.
I love heights.
But it was really good. Got a little go-kart in, amusement park. So it was good for the family. Got away, went a little swimming, and it was good. I had a good time.
That's
it was
good.
difficult to come back home.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I know it was because you listen. Give me a vacation every single week, okay? Let me come home for a few days, regroup, and then let me go back.
Right.
That would be the life, okay?
Exactly.
Okay, so basically, I'll ask you last what's on your heart because you're gonna take us in. So, on my heart, she said, "Oh, no, you're just gonna tell us what's on your heart."
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you're so funny. Well, that's all. It's gonna be what's on your
Okay,
heart.
so what's on your heart, Jossie?
Girl, nothing.
Now we gonna talk about what's on. Sometimes it just be like that.
Yeah,
you don't be
sometimes-
knowing right at the moment what to say, and then
Right.
it'll flow afterwards. I mean, I'm sure it's plenty things that I could say, but they just don't come to mind at
Yeah,
the moment.
right.
Like there's nothing.
Mine is rest, though. Rest and balance.
Yeah.
Balance. Give me another day. Give me a 2 days off during the week.
Yeah.
Part-time. That's what's on my heart.
That's what you would go for,
You-
part-time work?
Right.
Part-time
You,
job?
Yeah.
you are not
Increase
wrong.
my husband's finances. I can go part-time. Yeah, do that.
You're right.
That part.
So then I ain't
Okay.
gotta work. I can work if I want to, which would be part-time.
He said, I ain't got to work this job. My husband got 2 jobs.
Okay? Like increase, Lord. Okay? So,
That is hilarious.
so what's on your heart?
So what's on my heart today is, I kind of been thinking about, can men and women really be friends?
Ooh. That is interesting.
Right. Can they really be friends?
Can they
okay.
really be
Can
friends? That's
they?
on your heart?
That's on my heart.
Ooh. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
That's something good.
Yeah.
It's real good. It's real good. That's a debate.
Okay.
That is a debate.
Yeah, it is.
And we got all women
yeah.
here. So we're going to give our feedback.
So it's
today.
interesting to know, of course, because a lot of people will probably think if men are tuning in, probably, oh yeah, women can be friends with men, because a lot of men, don't like that, especially men that are really
Exactly.
protective of their significant others or coming into a new relationship.
Yes.
Men like to ask, like, oh, okay, well, do you have anybody who you were dealing with that you still deal with, and if a woman is like, yeah, me and my ex, we were, dating. It didn't work out. We didn't end off on bad blood. We still cool. Some men are like, no.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what will have you to be still attached to that person? Because it's just like, okay, well, even though we didn't work, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be, not cordial to one another.
Yeah.
So I think, in a sense, men and women can be friends. Dynamic. It depends on the situation. You have married people who may have, there's a husband who may have female friends already, right? And it's the thing that when the two become one, your friends are my friends. So automatically, it's that female knows that since I'm married, you know, your husband, we are friends also. The wife understanding, okay, well, y'all been friends for a while and I don't want to come in between that, but knowing that she's my friend too. Yeah. So respecting that and knowing it has to be boundaries set too now, you know, but I think it's a healthy dynamic. But I think so. Like, it depends that men and women can be friends.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I do think it depends on the situation. I do think it's easier when there are two singles being friends because there's no restrictions.
Yeah.
Because once you get married, you kind of don't know if the wife gonna really want to be your friend or if y'all were even connecting that way. And sometimes the wife too or the girlfriend can really pick up on what is really going on in this relationship. Is it really friendly?
Yeah.
Or is there a motive? You know, so I do think that men and women can be friends, but to your point, it depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like, yes, they can be friends.
You're going to be like, they is.
What? I just feel like, I agree. Like, I feel like men and women can be friends, but from my perspective, I do feel that it depends. It depends because you got some people who are literally genuinely friends. No
would
feelings.
Never think.
Yeah, like you don't cross that. But then it's also hard to find that these days. You don't really see that without either the man wanting to sleep with the woman or the woman have feelings for the man. And then that brings me back to the last episode when I said Brown Sugar was one of my favorite movies. And they was best friends on there.
Yeah.
They was two best friends who did have their own, you know, she was married, he got married. Or I don't know if he got married.
He did. He got married.
Okay.
He got married.
It was her who didn't, right?
Correct.
Okay,
she didn't get married. They were best friends. They got engaged
and then
after
they fell
the
in
fact.
love. They was in love with each other the whole time. And then
but the wife
together.
of him
suspected.
Exactly.
She felt like they were already too close because remember the scene at the bridal shower where she knew every answer and the one person was like, oh, Sid can't play no more. She know too much. I mean, it's been my dude. We've been rocking since 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so of course I know him. They were bonded since they were kids.
Yeah.
So I think that in the movie they didn't really realize though how much their bond was not only just a friendship, but they were bonded like spiritually in a sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so
emotionally.
And
romantically.
Right. And so that was why his wife saw it. Yeah. You know, and so what Sid was thinking, like, it ain't even like that. Like, this is my boy. Yeah. But she saw.
But I think I second guess that, which we talking about a movie, but in my eyes, one of them still knew that they had a deeper love for each other. Even when he confessed over the radio, there was always a deeper love that was
her.
Yeah, it was very unspoken. Yeah. Like, it just wasn't spoken of, but it was always there.
Her?
Yeah, because at the wedding, she was looking kind of like, you know, she was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is my best friend. I'm happy for you, but it's kind of like
sparking up that, you know.
Because like, she said, you know, y'all just pretty much just met. Like, you know, this girl, you're marrying her already kind of situation. So it was like she was protecting him, but then in a sense, she was like,
I want you.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, but I got their dynamic. I thought the movie was sweet. I love the movie. I love any Sanaa Lathan movie, but it brought out a good.
I love that movie, but if a woman like that try to befriend mine, we not doing that. Yeah, I'm sorry, that 20-year relationship gonna have to be over.
Yeah, but it doesn't some things. But you look at it. I look at it like this too. We're going and we're searching for other people, you know. And right there, she was right there all along. So I think that they may have psyched themselves out. Like, we've been friends for so long because we never took that leap. And sometimes with friends, you want to remain friends. And if you take that leap, it will mess up that whole friendship. And so you can't really even come back to that. So I think that they try to protect that because it's a possibility they may ruin what they have built, which was a bond for all these years. But you go searching and thinking, okay, well, I want somebody different, when the whole time she was right there.
Yeah.
She was right there. That's why I love it.
Yeah, I love the movie too.
I know.
I do really
now, if
love
that happened in real
Yeah.
life, I'm going to have a problem.
Exactly.
On the movie,
I love it. Okay.
I love it in a movie, okay? Because it just was cute.
It was
Because I
cute.
love love, and then, like I said, like
But
the scene
being that
chemistry.
woman, like that was his wife, that wouldn't be cute for me.
I would respect, at
then
the end
they
of the
have
day,
to turn
I would
around.
respect it. I would be like, if it were me, I would look at it like, I can tell your heart is not with me. And if I see it, I'm the type of person, I love you enough that I will encourage you to, because I don't want anybody who don't want me. And although he did love the other lady, but however, his heart, it was so quick for him to move out of that marriage, because in actuality, when she messed up, when he saw her with somebody else, he was like, this just confirms things, I feel like, for him. And that I'm just going to move.
But he left that space.
He left that space. He did.
Because his heart was,
in
I loved
actuality-
her, but his heart still was with the other
Exactly.
woman.
And that's what
but
I'm saying.
Don't waste nobody's time.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying about how you thinking that you're wanting somebody else. Sometimes you can get into something and it brings it back into a reality, like that's not something that I want in actuality, that my heart was with. Sometimes you got to go through things, just like life. We go through things and we may think that we want something when we're young. Maybe we get married, somebody get married at 18. Oh, I love this person, I want to be with this person. You don't really know what you want. You haven't been through life, you haven't been through anything. And then fast forward, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, yeah, I wasn't ready, but I had to go through that to see what it was that I did desire in my life. I had to go through some things. You got to mature. And
I think it just sucks for the
it
person,
does.
the other
It
person.
does.
Yeah.
But I don't think nobody intentionally goes in trying to. It would hope so. I wouldn't intentionally go
intentionally do it. But I don't know, because sometimes I feel like some people do.
Some people motives are just that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
Because some, on the flip side, some women have the motive. That's why I think, even as friends, I don't know if you should spill out, like with my male friend, I don't know if I would spill out all of my marital issues. Like,
correct.
you get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
So we might be friends and I might have known you, but certain things I still have to keep a guard and a fence around. Because if you do have a motive, you and it would be more easier for me if I am in a vulnerable place for you to take advantage of that moment.
Yeah.
Why? Because you know too much in my house. You know when to creep in, when to creep out.
Taking notes.
Yeah, you taking too many notes. So even if he felt, what if we both in a vulnerable place at the same time? Like, you know just what to do, when to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, I do still think that your relationship, if you are in a relationship, you do still need to protect that and guard that outside of that long-term relationship.
In respect for that spouse that you have.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it is boundaries. Like, men and women can be friends, but it's a boundary on that. Like, don't, like you said, don't be venting to your opposite sex friend about what's going on in our house. So I feel like that's off limits, off the bat. I also felt that hanging out, that's very limited. Where are y'all going? Where are y'all hanging out at?
Yeah, I agree with that
If y'all going to
too.
lunch, to me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like certain things just get cut off when you're entering into a relationship. But then when you single, again, it's no restrictions. You can go hang with your friends and it's innocent. But I think it's like, how does that look when you are in a relationship or a marriage? Like, how does that look? You going to hang out with your woman friend, or you calling her? She the first person you call when home.
That's a sensitive thing. Now it's different. I don't know, maybe because, and one would say you're just too relaxed. I'm okay until you give me a reason not to be.
Yeah,
I'm okay with you going to lunch. I'm okay with y'all kicking it. There's a certain space or in limits to, like you said, on things that you share, of course, because I should be your confidant, right? But I also know that there's things that you're going to share with your best friend. I get it. Yeah. But I'm okay with, the hanging out, as long as you tell me. If there is no secrets, there are no, oh, I got to go behind my wife's back or my spouse's back, because don't do that. If I'm giving you that outlet and I'm allowing you to continue to be that person, you don't have to do anything behind my back. You're innocent until proven guilty.
I think it's easier, to your point too, when you first stated that we friends. Like, your friends is our friends now. I think it's more complicated when they're only your friend.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a welcoming more, I can welcome this relationship a lot more easier and better when it's us instead of y'all. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, you're actually going to be a friend of our family. You're not just his friend. You get what I'm saying? Like, we are all friends.
So you're saying, like, going on the lunches, the three of you guys going on lunches.
Well, I am okay too, but I think it would make me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Know your friend.
More time to spend more time with the dynamic instead of just I get what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. If it's a friend that I don't know, like I know her, like okay, just say, oh, your friend named Ashley.
So we should be kicking it too, outside of the person who brought us in.
Or
we should be kicking it just on our own as well.
Because I feel like I ain't gotta kick it with you. Because what if I don't like you like that? But then but I feel like I would need to, at least I do have to kind of like you. I need
That's
to feel
touchy.
on you.
Yeah, if I don't
need
like
to feel
you,
on y'all relationship, y'all friendship, just to know like, oh, okay, she's really a friend. I feel like it's all about kind of knowing that person's motive. It's like if I feel like you kind of got feelings for him or something, like I need.
Would you tell your spouse though? Would you say, you know what? I understand she's your friend. Y'all been rocking for a long time, but I feel, because men do that. Like, I understand as being your friend, but I'm a man and I know what men think, and I know, so would you tell your spouse, like, I feel this way? I feel like she's wanting to be something else and she's keeping close to you because she really desires you.
Communicate that.
I would be honest, but communicate.
I think it is okay to communicate that. Now, what might be difficult is them receiving it.
Right.
Because no, we've been friends for a long time. I know them better than you. You get what I'm saying? Like, so
defending it, boy.
Yeah, so I think that might be the difficult part. But for me to communicate it, no, that's not a big issue at all.
A healthy communication and result to that, if a husband comes with the response, oh no, first of all, sir, why are you getting defensive?
Right.
I am just telling you, as your wife, as your significant other, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And out of respect, I would like you to take it into consideration that this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong, and I'm going to go to God about that, because I could be feeling a certain type of way to where I am so... what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. But yeah, where I don't want anyone around my spouse, because you have some women or some men like that. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so protective where I don't want anyone around my spouse. So let me check my heart.
Yeah.
But if your response to me and you're getting all like, that's not going to make me feel any better, because I feel a way because how you're defending her. And I get it. You want me to understand, but that ain't a way to get me to understand.
Yeah.
So you should be like, you know what, babe, if you really feeling this way, you know what I'm saying? How about I take a step back when it comes to us kicking it so much? Or, would it be better if we kick it all together more, or whatever you have to make me feel comfortable? Because at the end of the day, it's us over that. At the end of the day, I come first.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Not feeling like there is a competition between the friend.
Never want to do
and
that.
The spouse.
Never want to do that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it's also important, like, it goes back to boundaries, like making sure your wife or your husband is comfortable. Your girlfriend, boyfriend, they have to be comfortable.
Yeah, because it's one thing to be like your spouse insecure, because it is like insecure women
or jealous,
men, right? Or jealous who don't want you even saying hi to a woman. Like, you mean to tell me we live in a world full of opposite sex and they can't never speak?
That's control.
You should be able to speak.
I feel like if your boyfriend, you don't have that. You don't got that pull. Yeah. Your boyfriend ain't no ring on his finger. We ain't talked about marriage. We ain't went and walked into that. But you have. Oh, I don't like you kicking it with that person.
Right.
Sorry, you don't. You don't get that.
Right.
So I'm gonna kick it.
My spouse,
yeah, I'm gonna kick it with who I desire to kick it with. Yeah. And if you're trying to level up, then I suggest you level up. Come hard, because who are you to tell me who I can't kick it with? You're a boyfriend.
Right. Yeah.
And let's just keep it at that, unless you're trying to move into another direction. Yeah. So we're not gonna do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. No.
Okay, like stay in your place, boyfriend.
So, until you become a fiance husband.
Right. Exactly.
No. Because dudes do that, and that irritates me. Yeah. Who are you to tell me that? So unless we talked talked about that because people like, well, I was gonna make you wife, but did we talk about it though?
It's very manipulative.
But when I saw you get out of here, sir, you had your motive, and but that's my fault because I should have been in a relationship that was going towards marriage anyway. But dudes, kill me with that. Don't come in my life talking about some get rid of this person, and when you ain't solidified,
exactly. No. Are we even exclusive? Right. You know, like, quit playing with me.
Stop playing with me.
Exactly. I think too, like, okay, so in the past I had male friends, like I was very close with, went to high school together. We were really good, close friends. But sometimes, like in friendships, even though we say men and women can be friends, sometimes the relationship naturally fades. Yeah. Like once they get into a relationship, you know, like the conversations kind of lessen or, and that's kind of been my experience. Like they would less talk to me or less, we won't actually hang out anymore. Like, so the dynamic of our relationship actually changes. Like, so me personally I have not had, like a strong male friendship like after they entered into relationships. And then there have been times where we were friends and they were married and I had one friend who would always say, if I wasn't married, like I would talk to you. If I wasn't married, I think we would kick it off. And me being who I am, like, listen, you married. We not talking hypothetically. Okay. Like, so to me, it's disrespectful to your wife to even have this conversation or to even think to bring anything like that up to me. So to me, it's making sure you're not having those type of conversations with a friend. If we are friends, which we never did cross any type of boundaries, but to me it still was disrespectful to say certain things when you a whole husband. Exactly. You have a whole wife at home and you're trying to have we're not trying to get with each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, so even keep those conversations out the box.
That kind of reminds me, like when we were saying like we need a feel of the woman, and in this instance, like what if his wife was like, okay, I know TT, like she's not going to cross those boundaries, but then she could start seeing something in her husband and be like, do you know, like the way he may look at you or something. So now it's like, now y'all friendship got to be cut because now it's like you want her. It ain't even about her wanting you. It's you probably wanted her. Yeah. So it's like all the time it's not that friend motive. Sometimes it's like your spouse as well, but it's like he, you know, like you should be able to have that trust there. And it's like clearly he ain't trustworthy by even making that comment. She don't know, you know, I'm sure she probably don't know that still to this day, maybe, you know, or whatever. But sometimes it's not. That's why it's complicated with saying can men and women be friends, because it's like it's either if it ain't the woman, it's the man. If it ain't the man, it's the woman. It's like, can we literally just be friends? you know, like without you trying to cross the line. I think the only way,
even when somebody's trying to cross the line, is the other person putting that person back in line. So I think that's the thing. Yeah. Because if one of us step out of line, it's the other person making sure you putting that back in check. Yeah. Hey, we friends. We're not doing any of that.
But then now you tainting that relationship, that friendship.
I mean, it's tainted when you said that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Now you just
because you have a different mindset than what I had. Exactly. I thought that we were cool just on a buddy tip, but low key you got feelings. Exactly. You got a whole wife, sir. That make me feel away. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I had a friend. Okay, so my question: what if you guys had a sexual encounter with that friend, and do you think, because it didn't work out, like I said in the beginning, that y'all had a relationship, could that still be maintained afterwards? If y'all had a sexual encounter, you realize like, okay, you not my cup of tea. Really, it didn't work. We ain't. This was a mistake situation.
I feel like, okay, because from a marriage point, if my husband was friends with somebody he had sex with, you ain't about to be this person's friend at all. That's over. Y'all had sex. That line wave crossed. Yeah. But I do know someone who is able to be friends with someone they was intimate with and be strictly friends. But then it's kind of like that he's single as well. So it's like, cool, you single. It is possible, it can happen, but for my husband, you're not allowed.
I agree.
I feel like it's out of order. No,
yeah.
Why you gonna be friends? As being a married man, whatever was in the past, obviously that's something that happened.
And
in the past,
I don't ever want that history getting brought back up in a conversation, and y'all talking about y'all just friends. Because sometimes and I think too, like I had a friend when we crossed that line. I knew we were not going to work out after that. We were able to still be friends. And we were able to be friends because I knew me. I knew my mind was so made up. And I'm like, I don't want you, you know. I really don't. I don't ever want to cross that line with you again. I don't even see you in that way. I do know that it is possible to be friends, but like we said, it's easy when you're just single, but it is more complicated when you add in a third person in that relationship
because they may not understand it the way like it's hard to allow a person it's hard to get a person to understand like we crossed that line, but sweetie, I don't want this person. So for them, they're just looking at what's now mine. Someone else had it, and now y'all still kicking it with each other. Doesn't sit right. So ultimately, you have to be mature enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna let that go. It's not worth my current relationship, my marriage. So I'm gonna let that go, because ultimately we did cross that boundary, and if my spouse is uncomfortable with it, I have to let it go. Because I had a situation like that, and the person who I crossed that line with, they were really like attached to me. We were so, and I guess I realized like, okay, well, I was more so, I can't really talk to you like that, because if you wanted to be with me, you will be with me. You chose to be with somebody else. And like I said, I'm the person to encourage you. If you are feeling somebody else, you want somebody else, go make that work. I'm all for that, you know? And so once a person, they get into that and they come back and they realize like, okay, well, I realize you're a staple, a really important piece in my life. And I'm like, okay, well, but you're telling me everything that's, that goes on. And while I'm a listening ear, however, my thing was always to say, did you pray for your spouse? Have you been praying? Have you been praying? Because I can't give you tips and things like, the only tip I can give you now is to pray for your significant other. I'm not really here to sit and listen and take notes, because I'm not trying to take your wife's spot or anything like that. So let's be clear on that. And furthermore, we stepped a boundary, but I'm not feeling you like that anymore. I look at you like we cool. But if your spouse doesn't know who I am, doesn't know that we had a situation or whatever, then how is that going to look? I am not one to be trying to mess up a household. I have walked a certain type of way prior to, and as you get older, you learn and you try to do things differently. Because when I want to get married in the future, I want to do things differently, and I don't want my good to be even spoken of. I don't want my character to be tainted because I'm talking to a married person or whatever, and now just because you feel like we have a connection, we should stay holding on to one another to the point. So long story short, I had to block because it's a lot. And at the end of the day, I respect your marriage. I respect your household, whether you can talk to your wife about any and everything or nothing at all. I can't fill that void. I don't want to. You shouldn't want to. And if that's how you feeling, you shouldn't have married the person. You know?
I think it got a lot to do with trust as well. I think you know if you can really trust your spouse. Correct. Because you know what they're capable of. So I do think some women, if certain lines have been crossed, they might have a tighter leash on the man or the woman, because they know what they're capable of doing. So I think it like when it boils down to it, like we keep saying, it is based on the situation. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I think it's important for you to make judgment, making sure that you don't have trust issues, making sure you're not insecure, that you're not operating from a jealous place or controlling place, any of those things. So it's just making sure the husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, just make sure you're not operating from that place or placing judgment on that woman or man based on your own insecurities and issues, you know? So you want to make clear, sound accurate judgment.
Right,
You don't want to misjudge a person because of what you're struggling with. So I do think it's just important as well. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's my intake with that.
I agree with that. Like,
pray
just
about
making
everything.
sure, like, you know that you a confident person. You're not jealous or intimidated.
That plays a big part. That does. That plays a big part. Because you can't control people, though.
I'm not just jealous.
Right.
You may need this person, like they may be able to help you like with some information. You know, we need people.
And you're going to work with men and women. You know, it's not a one sex world. I'm like, even with my husband being in ministry, I'm like, I know you're gonna deal with females.
But am I okay with that? Can I sleep at night? Do I trust you?
You have to be okay with that. Exactly. And if you give me a reason I can't trust you, we got a whole nother problem. And is they the problem? I don't think so.
Right.
You the problem.
Right.
Why? Because they can't do anything that you didn't open the door for.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing. The door will never be open. It don't matter what attempts a person make. Nothing could have never led to anything else unless you open that door.
You have a choice at the end of the day.
So will I blame the other person who owes me no loyalty? I will not.
Right. But if you know that I'm married, shame on you.
Exactly.
Shame on you.
And I might slap you, but
and pray about it later.
Exactly.
Shame on you.
Because if you know, I am probably going to slap you.
Yeah.
Especially if we in close proximity.
I think it depends on the situation.
No, I am going to slap you.
And that's what I'm saying. You learn, because I wasn't, previously married. Didn't always make the best decisions, but going forward, you want to do better, because how would you feel? Mm-hmm. You know, if your spouse did that, you really have to take those things into consideration, because it's like, do unto others as you want done unto you.
Yeah. So my question to y'all ladies is, what about if you're married in a relationship, your husband, spouse, boyfriend, create new relationships with women? Like
if they was at the store and they was talking to somebody in the grocery line and was like, oh, this person, they vibe was so, we're not doing that.
It depends, because my husband, I feel like he created, like, I wouldn't say friendships, but you got friends at work. Like, he may work with females. Like, he can't talk.
But is it okay if? So we know that they would interact at work.
Okay.
We know that they would interact, but can they call?
No.
Can they start hanging out?
No, I don't know. Because what y'all
talk to are y'all only welcome to accepting the relationships they had before you?
I'm welcome to the relationships before me, because it's like it was before me. I'm not going to come in ruining your relationship, your friendship with that person. However, if you're trying to create a friendship now, that ain't gonna work.
If you got a husband or wife already, we can get together, we can kick it.
Yeah.
I meet a new friend, like, we talking about our spouses and stuff like that, and you create new friendships like that. Right now. But as a single person and you meeting a new, I get it, y'all cool, y'all vibe at work, that's cool, let's keep it there.
Yeah.
But meeting, I feel like another person who has a spouse, and y'all begin to talk about each other's spouses and stuff like that, and y'all like, we should get together. That's cool.
You know what? That's a funny question too, because married people be the main one cheating. Like you be the people. No, somebody used to marry couple right here, marry right here. Somehow,
and then that person like
the opposite. Yeah.
But again, you can't. But again, you can't go into it like, I don't know about it, because it's trust. You're innocent until proven guilty, and at the end of the day, if that's what you choose to do, shame on you.
Jokes on you, my nigga.
Yeah, shame's on you.
Sorry. But no.
We gotta do some hard counseling, because you cross that when something because you do, as you sometimes you need other married people who can say they've been married for a long time, put into perspective. You also have to ask God for clarity too, if you're going into, because you have some married people who don't follow Christ, and they may be doing stuff that y'all might not do. You gotta check the temperature. So if y'all get with that couple and if I'm looking at my husband and I'm like, and we kicking it with them, and the conversation's off or the vibe's off, we like, bae, they ain't the couple for us. Yeah. You have to know, and I feel like my spouse and I, we will be there to where we like, okay, we tried that thing. this ain't the couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can always tell, like, if a woman wants your man, like a man.
Yeah.
You can always tell when
Give me discernment, Lord Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I feel like to answer that question of all these examples, the question is yes. But it's,
yes
I
and
guess
no.
it's a right.
I think you gotta determine it by situation.
Use wisdom.
Case by case,
Use
situation
wisdom.
by situation.
Yeah. It's like literally yes
but
and no. Like
you
you
can
said.
be friends.
Yeah. And then sometimes no, you cannot.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Trust boundaries. Yeah. You can with trust boundaries.
Yeah.
And putting God in the center. You want to be conscientious and use wisdom. Wisdom in all things. Yes. Wisdom is the principal thing.
That's so true.
Well, y'all, this was a good conversation.
It really was.
I feel like our next episode, we're going to bring some men on.
For sure.
We want to hear from the men.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to hear from the fellas.
It's going to be so interesting.
I know it is going to be interesting.
I want to hear what they got to say.
Yes, we want to hear what they have to say because it's like, let's see what the gentlemen have to say. Mm-hmm. So y'all tune in next week, part 2 of Can Men and Women Be Friends? And we're going to bring the fellas on. See y'all next time.
See you next time.